Welcome back, folks, to another episode of It's About Your Paycheck. We are going to talk about the future of tipped earners today. But before that, like always, what's up, Walt?
Too much. Just shaking and baking.
Chicken and bacon, shake and
Hey,
bake, baby.
aging myself. I'm like somebody. Oh,
Dude,
shaking and baking.
bro, you definitely we definitely in unk status, bro. One of my son's friends was on the phone with him, and he heard me talking in the background, and he's like, "Oh, who is that? Your dad?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "What's up, unk?"
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I never
Somebody said that to me on one of my posts on TikTok. Like I did something with what was it? Squid Games cookie. He
Yes.
said,
Oh, I
"Oh,
saw that.
cutting it close, punk." I was just like, "Oh man, like somebody go on here."
Yes, you are, sir. I don't know. I don't know how old think you are. How old you think you is?
In my mind.
In my mind, yeah, it's in your mind. Let me let you know.
Uh,
Uh, yeah, no, I definitely. Oh man, my coworker did it to me the other day. I said something about, oh, that is a thing, and she's like, yeah, dad. I was like, oh no,
yeah,
just gotta embrace it, bro. You just gotta
yeah. It's
embrace
part
it.
of life,
And,
man. We just accept it.
stay in our lane.
Bro.
Yeah,
It's,
it
it's
is
a
what it
good
is.
it's a good thing to age well. And I remember,
Yep.
I know you can speak to this too. I remember where I was when I was in my 20s and my 30s, and I
Oh.
can say my 40s have been better than my 20s and my 30s so far. As far as
But
life,
wait, let me ask.
I've had a good time.
Like, what respect? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
In terms of finances,
Okay.
the
Yep.
struggle, different type of things. 'Cause in your 20s,
Definitely. No
you kind
doubt.
of go through that. Even part of my 30s, my early 30s, I was going through that same struggle. And then you see that change when you start to get promoted and you start
Mhm,
see those different
mhm,
things happen in your life and stuff like that.
mhm.
Like, man, like the struggle's real, man.
Oh, yeah.
Struggle real
Oh,
for most people.
I've always felt like I was a late bloomer and just whatever. At one point I had to stop, and that I did learn early on. Thank God. Like I had to stop comparing myself to everyone else. Right. I had a friend of mine. I have a friend of mine, um,
Mhm.
who is just doing it, like making really great decisions early. Bong, 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 bong.
Yep.
And I would always compare myself to him. And then at one point I was like, wait a minute, that's his journey. You
Yeah,
know what I
bro.
mean?
Yeah,
My journey's different.
think about it, averages, man. It averages out. So of course you're gonna have
Yeah.
somebody that's just gonna excel early in life,
Right,
and then you're
right,
gonna have those
right.
people that excel later in life.
Later.
You know what the
Yeah.
average age for the first person for a person to get their first $1 million?
What is it?
50 to 60 years old.
What?
Yeah.
All right.
So
I'm
you're
in
right.
good shape.
You're
In
good.
good
We're right on track.
shape.
We're great. We're in great
Mm.
shape. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
we're right on schedule, bro. Like we're
Yep.
right there. It's just, that's it.
I sent you a TikTok today. It's long, but it's impactful. It
Okay.
hit it hit me hard. Like, oh, I'm
Oh,
gonna actually.
I didn't get a chance to
It's
read it.
long.
Yeah, yeah,
Listen, listen. I'm actually gonna replay it and write notes because I was like, oh man, and it just speaks to the power of prayer. But you know, it, the biggest takeaway is, and this is great for the show, right? Is like you can't say, oh, I'm working toward being rich, but then in the next breath say, oh, maybe this will work, that might work, maybe, oh,
yeah.
I don't know. Mm-mm.
You have what you say.
You right. The
Have what you say.
subconscious, right? If we as we talked about, folks, if y'all you go research subconscious, like my therapist taught me and put me on, 5% of our consciousness is our active consciousness. The rest
Yeah,
is our subconscious and our unconscious.
yeah,
And
bro.
that's where all the danger lies, right? That's
Yeah,
where all
bro.
the negative, like,
Yes,
God bless the
yes,
people who haven't had those experiences that are still there that they need to
bro.
unpack. That's what unpack means, right? Oh, we need
Yep,
to unpack this. You have to unpack it from your subconscious, your unconscious,
yep,
right?
yep.
And so for the
So,
folks like us who've been through trauma
yep.
and didn't have that smooth sailing throughout life, we got a lot of shit to unpack and we got a lot of shit to reprogram
Reprogram,
our.
bro. 40 years of
Woo!
reprogramming, right?
Yes,
And so, like,
yes.
that's so funny because we A lot of times when we have this stuff, like, it'd be right on point with
Yeah,
other
of
things.
course.
Just the other day, I'm saying that just over this weekend, I started telling myself I am deserving of whatever
That's
it
right.
is
That's
I
right.
want. I am
That's right.
deserving of that kind of
Wait till you listen to
relationship,
this.
deserving
Repeat the
of
words you say. Yep.
like, I'm deserving, like, I started saying that, like, so if I see something, I deserve
That's right.
worthy of I deserve
I'm
that.
getting that. That's
I'm
coming.
getting that, you know what I'm saying?
That's
Like, so,
coming.
like, that's where I'm trying to reprogram instead of like,
Mhm.
"Oh, man, this always
Mhm.
oh, man," and that's kinda where it goes, right? When
That's
something
defeating.
happens, it's always
Mhm.
it's you
That's right.
gotta
That's right.
challenge those limiting beliefs. Yeah.
That's right. Yes, there you go. And that's what I realized too. I was like, "Wait a minute, why doesn't everybody have to do this?" Because not everybody has a traumatic childhood, upbringing, life that they had to freaking get work their way. Some people have smooth sailing. That's God bless them.
Or we'll just get through it quick in different
Right.
ways, right?
God bless them.
Yeah.
Some of us gotta reprogram the sub and unconscious.
Yes, sir.
So,
Alright.
anywho, what do you got for us today, man? We got some little
I feel like that was your financial fitness
that was
wellness
my unk
thing.
moment.
Your unk moment. There you go.
My unk
There you
moment.
go. I love that.
I don't have
Well,
a,
it could be that could be a segment.
yeah, the unk. Oh,
Yeah.
that's we yes. Oh, yes. See, but
Yes,
that
sir.
we gotta take to TikTok.
Yeah, yeah,
Gotta
yeah,
do it
yeah.
on TikTok.
What I
Yeah.
was saying today,
The unks.
unk
Yep.
says.
Unk says, that's right. No doubt.
Well, so look, I got a
Oh,
little bit of
yeah.
stuff, speaking of like struggle, financial literacy and fitness, talking about rent in the US. Just
Okay.
talking about the median rent in the
Ooh,
US for 2023 was
good
1406.
gosh. For how
Um,
many bedrooms? Does it
I
say?
it doesn't say, like, so I guess
Okay.
like,
The average rent
the
period.
average rent,
Okay.
yeah, so, like, and so in June of 2025, the average rent for an apartment in the US was up to 17, almost 1750 a month.
Damn.
According to Rent Cafe, apartments.com was a little bit lower, about $100 lower at 1637.
Mm,
But what this thing did say is that year over year, apartment prices have gone up like 1%.
mhm.
I'm just like, dang, man, like that's so. So it says that national median rent prices were near their peak for the year in June,
Okay.
though they were down year over year. So the national median rent held steady in July at 1402. I guess so. What a lot of people don't know is that if you're trying to get your first apartment and you're listening to this, there's a lot of places that run special. And so they may
Oh,
give you a special when you moved in. When you move in, they may give you a discounted rent for that 1 year. But they may tell you, oh, you have to lease for 18 months, 12
right.
or
Because then they
15 months.
wanna jack it up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like
Are they transparent with it, you think?
I think they are.
Oh,
I think they are. I think they're
if they're not, it's a good reason to read your lease.
yeah. Mhm.
Hello, we talk about reading your employee manual. Read your lease. Read
So
these documents. Running through ChatGPT.
so look, this is gonna be crazy, right? So like rent prices across the country, the US, are up by 31%
Oh,
compared to pre-pandemic levels.
damn.
Ain't that crazy?
Well, you know what it is, right? It's following house sales price because
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
how dude, the average house now where I'm at is $1 million. Is like,
Yeah,
what the
bro.
heck?
Yeah.
Now, no, I'm sorry. Let me say the house that I need for my big ass family is 1 million. I'm like, God
Yes.
dang, well, I'm
Yes.
moving somewhere else
Because
now.
you need the pool, you need the all that different things, bro.
And I might got 5, 6 people in my house. Like,
Yeah,
hello,
bro. Yeah,
bro. The
man.
other night, with between sleepovers and visits and friends here, I had 2, 4, 6, 8 people in the crib.
Yeah, bro, and then in that house that you have now, it can seem
What
like
in
there's a
the
lot,
hell?
bro. Yes, yes, bro.
Oh
Yeah,
my
man.
gosh. I was like, yo, everybody need to buckle. I need to start charging a cover charge to get in.
Yes, there you go. Yes, gonna be ESCO, you gotta pay that cover
Word, you
charge.
got. Yeah, I need a cover charge. What you got?
So look, there's something that interesting here. It's called a cost burden, and they
Okay.
feel almost
Mhm.
nearly half of Americans, 49%, were considered cost burden in 2023.
What
which
is that?
means
Oh,
that
okay.
their rent consumed over 30% of their income.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, I believe
That was in 2023. That was in 2023. So
Ooh,
now going back to the other stat that said that rent is
it's
up
up 31%.
31%. So they even probably even more
Or
cash strapped Americans out there.
that's that's where we at right now.
Yeah,
That
bro.
everything is just more money.
Yeah, bro. I remember
Damn.
in my 20s, my late 20s, early 30s, rent being like $900
Yeah.
a month,
Yeah.
950
Yeah.
a month.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Yep. And what I don't like, or well, actually, so what I how can I say this? So Florida, yeah, I read something recently that it's gonna change or they're trying to change it. You gotta make 3 times the rent.
I don't know about you, but I don't know very many people that are hopeful about the world of work. And I'd like to change that. My name's Marcus Mossberger, and I started the Hope at Work podcast, where you'll find two things. Number one, really interesting guests, and number two, innovative ideas about the future of work. Check it out.
Wow. Yeah.
To get into some places,
In Florida?
right? In Florida, yeah.
Oh, wow.
You gotta make 3 times the rent.
Pittsburgh is like that too.
Really?
A lot of you gotta make 3 times the rent in order to there's even places in Georgia that
You
I
see
know
what I'm
that somebody
saying?
in an apartment and they had to
See what I'm
make
saying?
3 times the rent. I was
You see
geez,
what I'm
like,
saying?
who can get in there? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
unless you
I
get a
mean, like
co-signer.
right, right. Or
Yeah,
or you go as a couple, it's 2
yeah.
more or more, whatever. So, I thought I read something, I don't know if it was actual factual, like Florida is gonna do away with that, but it's tough, man. That's great info. And
Yeah, bro.
then I'm not gonna make it any better with my report.
Wow.
Um, so but let me ask you this
So,
first, right? Because I had to go on to ChatGPT and you're good with math and numbers and stuff.
yeah.
Like the if how do you solve for a ratio? Meaning I found the article that said what are CEO salaries compared to the average employee of that company salaries, right?
Uh-huh.
And for instance, for number 10, Carrier Global, the ratio is 1289 to 1. So does
1,200.
that right. So does that so they give me the employees average, but they didn't give us the CEO's salary.
Oh, so I think if you take this, like their CEO salary is like 500,000.
No, but we don't have the CEO salary. We have the
Oh,
employees average so first one is Carrier Global. The
uh,
employee's median salary is 51K.
uh-huh.
The ratio of CEO salary to employee is 1289 to 1.
Okay, so how they got that? So basically, they would divide that small number, that average 50,000, whatever it is,
Mhm.
by the CEO's number.
So but how do we get the CEO's number?
So I think you would have to, I think you would have to make it a function, and I think you would do 1298
Huh?
times 50,000.
That's what ChatGPT said,
Yeah.
but I don't wanna believe it because these numbers are crazy.
What's the
Okay.
number, bro?
Okay. So now check this out.
Yeah.
If that's right, Carrier Global, which I believe it's the Carrier like air conditioners,
Yeah, yeah,
HVAC
yeah.
type deal. Average employee salary is 51K. The CEO's compensation is 65 million.
Yeah,
Check,
that's
but
true. I just Googled it.
holy shit.
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
Mhm.
What they messed up a little bit because and it's news, right? They want to make it dramatic. They messed up a little there's a caveat is what they did say in the article is that oh, and I gotta put the article in. I was trying to put the table that I made in because they didn't give the CEO salary. They didn't give the CEO salary. They gave, let me see. Oh, yeah, you see? Oh, and you found it separately. So this is right. So dang on it, folks. I'm so sorry. See, that's the thing. He has all this other stuff. The salary
Yeah,
is only 1 million,
yeah.
but with all the other comp, it brings them up to the 65.
Yep.
And that's how they be hiding. They real shit. See, and the
Yeah.
article didn't even want to give. He just said, "Oh, here's the median of the employee, and the ratio is
Mhm.
1,289 to 1." Like, you're not, what are you reporting? You're giving me a
That's
math
crazy.
problem.
Yes.
But check it out. Here's the top 10, right? I forget. Damn, I forgot the top 10 companies. I don't know what it was. I don't know how they picked these companies, but anywho, Carrier Global was the first one. Median salary for employee 51K. CEO makes 65 million. Total comp package, all in.
Mhm.
Carnival Cruises. Median salary is let's say $17,000. CEO,
Wow.
23 million. Yum Brands. Yum Brands owns Pizza Hut, KFC, and Taco Bell. Median salary 17K. CEO,
Wow.
25 million.
Wow.
TJX, which I believe is the TJ Maxx. Is that the right?
It might be TJX. I think so.
TJX, I believe, is the holding company for TJ Maxx, and they own a few other stores like that. 15K was the EE employee salary. I say EE all the time because that's how I get it. My bad. Employee salary median 15K. CEO 23 million. Western Digital. Median employee salary is $10,000. Let's say 11. I'm gonna give them 11. CEO 17 million.
Bro, that's no way, bro.
Ross Brand, number 5. We're at number 5 with Ross Brand. Ross, the store, Ross.
For less.
Dress for less. Median salary, let's say $10,000. CEO 17 million.
Bro.
Coca-Cola. Median salary $14,000. CEO 28 million. The ON semiconductor on semiconductor. I don't know what they make, but it's computers because semiconductors have to do with computers. 15.5 is the median. 31 million is the CEO. Aptiv, number 2 spot. I don't know what the hell they do, but the median is $9,000. CEO 18 million. Number 1 spot, Starbucks. 14,000. Let's say 15,000, being generous.
Starbucks.
15K is the median employee salary. CEO 98 million.
Yeah.
And guess what?
You might as well say 100 million.
You might as well say 100 million. And guess what? But Starbucks got somebody coming for them. There's a brand out of China that's breaking into the US called the Luckin coffee.
Wow.
Yep.
Bro, look, compared the US on this one chart that I'm looking up, the US has the highest ratio in the world as far as like CEO pay to worker pay.
Yeah, is this crazy? Is this look? Yeah. What does that mean? Y'all need build your own company because clearly we're
Dude, we just had a great person on for IAP that we really liked. It seems like he's all about his people and taking care of his people.
Yep.
So I would be surprised. I would love to hear his thoughts on these kind of stats.
On that stat, right? Yeah. Exactly. No doubt, that would be very interesting. All right, so as we talk about salaries and different economic issues for it's about your paycheck.
Yep, perfect.
We're gonna get into some talking points for the future of tipped earners.
Yep.
Let me ask you a question though. What inspired you to do this topic?
No, you're actually the one that did it. Yes, you're the one that actually did it. Put it in there on the sheet. I just curated the notes. Yeah, bro. So let me ask you, sir.
Shit, well, I don't know. I mean, probably curiosity.
Yeah.
Curiosity because, and look, as we talk about,
you know what it is? I think it was the big, beautiful, the bad, whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
You know, man, how that impacted tips.
Yeah.
Like we need to do a show on tips.
Yes. Yeah. That's yeah, definitely. Yep. All right. Well, let's see. We got a couple sections here. Two
Yeah.
sections.
Yeah. So we got that section, and then we have a section down below, like
All right.
13 or 14 points.
Gotcha.
Run it off?
Yeah, I'll start it off.
Okay.
Sure. So, what qualifies as a tipped job is the first thing. So, under US federal law, a tipped worker is someone who regularly earns at least $30 a month in tips. So, this is crazy. It's that federal law stuff, just like the minimum wage and all
Yep.
this. It's insane. So, and so to how can I say that? Yeah, to be considered a tip worker, you need to make at least $30 a month in tips. Not a lot.
Not a lot. Nope.
And but here's the thing, their cash wage can legally be as low as $2.13 per hour, with a tip credit making up the rest to meet the federal minimum wage of 7.25. So it means that if your tipped employee does not make at least 7.25 minimum wage in an hour in a pay period, whatever the company's pay period is, that company has to make up the difference. They got to get them to at least minimum wage,
Yep.
which makes sense, right? Because like around the country, you'll see how like some folks, because I think in New York being one of the and California, of course, New York and California kind of always lead the charge on this. They have a separate minimum wage for tipped workers, food industry, retail, different
I think
things. I think
Minnesota does too, I think. It might be
Minnesota. Oh, that's
hotel.
random.
Might be hotel.
That's
Yeah.
random. Okay. So but different things like that, right? Because it's just like, okay, so anywho, their cash wage can be as low as to $2.13 per hour, with the tip credit making up the difference. And then employers are required to boost the pay if tips plus cash wages don't hit that 27.25 an hour mark. But enforcement can be inconsistent. That is
Bro.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number
And,
2.
and,
Go ahead.
no, but
Number 2, income instability and reliance on tips. Yeah. Servers and bartenders earn up to 60% of their hourly income from tips, with the median monthly tip totaling about $867.
mm,
Well, big cash business, that makes sense. I get it. In 2024, 43% of restaurant workers' pay came from tips, up from 35% in 2020. Well, that makes sense. 2020 was pandemic.
mm,
Nobody was in the restaurant like that. Median hourly compensation reached 23 an hour compared to 1861 in 2020, a
okay.
28% increase, but I'm sure that's probably back to normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Restaurants were shut down, like everything was delivery.
Yeah.
Some places were still open, but still, it was not normal.
Yeah.
So now, who are they and how widespread? Only 2% of US workforce regularly work jobs involving tips. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Though that rate is higher in service heavy states like Nevada. Okay, that makes
Well,
sense.
it depends, right? So I think it's
Depends
just
on
an
the state.
average of the state.
Right.
So like when you go to places that have a bunch of restaurants or bars and stuff like that, there's going to be a lot of workers that are getting tips.
New York, Nevada, and California definitely skew
Yep.
the averages, because if you go to like Idaho,
Yeah.
no disrespect to the middle countries, it's just you're not gonna have big pockets of there's restaurants, of course, but it's not
Yeah.
huge. And some towns here in Florida, like
Yeah.
we
That's
we
true.
went right. I went to a nursing retreat with wifey the other day, and the town, like everything was shut down at 10.
Yeah. But my mom lives in some place close to Gainesville. It's a small town
Right.
or whatever.
Everything shut
And
down early.
there's really nothing there.
Right. Right. So it's skewed. So
Yeah.
that's how averages work, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what else here we got? Tipped minimum wage roles are concentrated in hospitality. Yep. Approximately 65% of servers, bartenders are women. Yeah, that makes sense. And these workers face higher poverty and harassment risk levels. Yes,
Of course.
that is so true.
What's
It's
it?
crazy. It's crazy how they
Missed revenue, late releases, customer churn, those aren't just major business issues, they're people issues. On Higher Power Radio, we dig past symptoms to the root leadership, hiring, and process problems that hinders company growth. Real founders, real diagnostics, and actionable takeaways that you can plug into your business today. Peer lessons to fuel your company's growth. Subscribe to the Higher Power Radio Show and start plugging your people issues in your business today. Hire, H-A-R-E, Power, P-O-W-E-R, radio, R-A-D-I-O.com, or here on the Work Defined Network.
Combo these two things: higher poverty and harassment. Okay.
Yeah, because
Yep.
those are probably the two biggest discrepancies with women being servers and bartenders, right?
Right.
Of course, you got some people, no matter if they're male or female. Typically, they're probably male, but like it's just you get drunk, they got liquor in them, they got liquid courage in them, and
Yeah.
they start saying all type of stuff.
What is it? Beer muscles?
Bare muscles, yeah. Like they start saying all this
Liquid courage. I love it.
stuff to them and stuff like that. or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's a tough.
So,
That's tough for them, man. And then look, keep it, and it's crazy. Yeah, and keep in
Well-
mind, IRS is going to be releasing a report by October 2nd, 25, on what occupations will qualify as tipped earners.
yeah,
So,
bro.
yeah,
And look, I want to go back to that harassment.
yeah,
You ever been to a casino like Hard Rock?
yeah, yeah.
You see how they have servers walking around.
Yep.
Basically, you can see their butt cheeks coming out and stuff like that or whatever.
Yeah.
They have the different outfits on and stuff.
Yep.
You know, like
No men, or
Yeah.
not many.
many.
I don't see their books. Yeah, I don't want to see it.
But like there's this one movie theater that we really liked
Mhm.
in I think Aventura, right? And it's the
Mhm.
same thing there. They have these ladies that walking around serving. Yeah. It's
Butt
just
cheeks
like,
out?
yes.
Oh, dang. I'm like, babe, we just go to Aventura. She be like, what the
Yeah.
hell we going over there for?
I heard it's nice. So, yeah.
Heard they got good wings.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like Hooters, right? I would always bug out
Yeah.
when people bring their kids to Hooters.
Bro.
They're young kids. You know what I mean? That is
Yeah.
crazy. So, all right. Couple more here. So, tipping culture under pressure. According to 2025 Bank Rate Survey, 63% of Americans express at least one negative sentiment toward tipping culture, with 41% saying businesses should pay employees better, 38% frustrated by default tip screens at hell yeah. That I don't like no. So whew, me and my son talk about this shit all the time, every time because we go out to eat,
Yeah.
and like, you haven't done anything. Why am I tipping you? Right? I'm going to a fast food place.
Yeah.
I'm ordering food. You're gonna give me a bag of my food. You're not serving me. Like you're not. There's no service there.
I get it. I understand that.
Now, at the same time, I'm not. I get that. I'll give like a little. It's honestly, I do either the lowest percent if I like the number, or if they have the custom,
Yeah.
I'll put in $1 or $2.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But if they don't have that, you asked out. Let me tell you that right now. Y'all need to put that custom button in there, because if not, you asked out. I'm not giving a high ass amount of money for you just taking my order.
Yep. For me,
That
for me
didn't
coming to pick up
exist.
something. Yep.
You didn't. Why there's no service here?
Yeah.
We didn't do anything. That's like
Get it.
going for that. Then Publix should put the tip button in there.
Yeah.
You know
Oh,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yes.
They're doing more.
Yeah. Look,
Really?
yeah, man. Look, I can definitely see where you're coming from. I just want to speak to the point about the fall tip screens. What I think is that what they kind of say, oh, everybody, no matter how much you get, this person earns for tips, it all goes into one bucket, and then like we kind of just divvy it out equally. That's
They
what I
do
think.
that. Well, it's
You know
not.
what I'm
No,
saying?
it's not equally. So if I don't know if how everybody does it,
Okay.
but I know of some places that do it based on the amount of hours you work. So it all gets put into one number. Here is the calculation that I'm aware of. It's total amount of tips divided by total hours worked by everybody,
Mhm.
right? And then that rate, that gives you a tip rate. that tip rate is then times by how many hours you worked that week or pay
Ah,
period, and that
yeah.
is your tip.
Okay. Yep.
That is fair,
Yep.
right? I believe that is fair.
So I get it. Yeah, I
Well,
understand, but
fairer than equally. It can't be equal.
fairer.
It
Yeah,
cannot
not
be equal.
equally. I was wrong. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
It's,
mean, look, no. That could be some place. You don't know how some
yeah,
places
yeah,
do it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It could be different because.
I guess it comes to mind because I remember eating out at a restaurant
Mhm.
and, you know, them saying like, "Hey, if you have, like, even if you give me cash or whatever," because waitress did a really good job. Even if you give me cash, like I have to take it to the manager because,
Oh yeah.
and her and some other people talking about one of their coworkers. And they're like, "This girl doesn't do anything all day, and I got to share my tips with her." But she was there. She was technically on the clock, but she wasn't doing
Mhm.
anything.
See, yeah, it's not a perfect system, and that's what I'm
No,
saying.
the
The
next
other
one, that next one, I think you're gonna like.
So a morning consult poll found that 33% of Americans feel tipping expectations have increased significantly over the past 5 years, and 23% now avoid businesses that pressure them to tip. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Because I know of some folks that are like they use cash only now,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Because they don't want to use the card or whatever. Like I'm like, I don't know. Yes, the expectations have definitely increased because you're now trying to get a tip where it didn't exist before. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Anywho, a couple more. Okay, a couple more here before I give you number 5. Policy and wage reform trends. 7 states, California included, of course, no longer allow tip credits. Tipped workers earn full state minimum wages, making tips truly additional income. That's big. In DC, voter approved Initiative 82 aimed to eliminate the tipped wage by 2027. In 2025, the DC Council scaled it back to gradually phase it in increases. Tip workers earn $10 an hour, 56% of the full wage
Mhm.
through 2026, moving to 75% parity by 2034 rather than full wage equivalency.
Wow.
Okay, good stuff. Number 6, business impact and industry concerns. Citrix argue wage.
Critics.
Oh, critics. Thank you, sir.
There you go.
There's a company named Citrix. That's what I thought I saw. Critics argue wage hikes for tipped workers have hurt small restaurants. Wage hikes for tipped workers in DC, for example, closures rose post policy change, prompting a partial rollback. I'm gonna call bullshit because I mean, I believe what they're saying, but I think that the company, the restaurant owners probably were just like, I'm cashing out. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not going to make as much as I did before because of you were doing shenanigans. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't trust that. Anywho, number.
Well,
Go ahead.
there was one situation where this burger place in California that I heard of, like they used to sell their burgers like for cheap on the low.
Okay.
They were in business for a long time, and
Okay.
then when that rule came out that they had to raise the wage to
Mm-hmm.
whatever, they were like, "Well, we don't get enough money in to like pay our because our prices are so low." But I guess they didn't want to raise their prices either.
Well, see,
So
that's what I'm saying. But you already had to pay your people minimum wage
yeah, but I think maybe what was the minimum wage before that? Went up substantially, right?
in Cali for sure. Thing
Yeah.
in Cali the average in Cali now is like $15 an hour. Gotta be. And then maybe more for food workers, restaurant workers. So number 7, I have worker vulnerable. My last one before I pass it to Walt: worker vulnerabilities and wage theft. Wage theft remains a serious issue. Study showed 25.9% of low wage workers experience minimum wage violations, and 1.6 reported tips stolen by employers or supervisors in the week before being surveyed. Yo, that's crazy. So, what is a tip creep? The increasing pressure on consumers to tip in situations where it wasn't traditionally expected, and also the expectation of higher tip percentages. This includes tipping in places like fast food, retail, and other industries where it's not customary, or seeing higher default tip options on payment systems. Hell yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like
No,
now,
no.
now I go to places when I used to go to places, they used to have like 5, 10, 15%.
Mhm.
I was like it starts
10,
off with like
15.
15,
Yep, exactly.
15, 22,
18,
25.
22.
It's like,
Yes.
wait, like
It
what?
start yes. They go I've seen it even go up to 28%, some
Oh,
shit like
geez.
that. Yeah. And that's why I'm like, if you don't have that custom button, you asked out because
Yep.
I'm not tipping you at all. Like you being too
Mhm.
aggressive. And then also it's gonna be they're gonna be a little upset because if it's not an IRS approved customarily tip occupation, you're not gonna be able to get a tax break on your tips come next year filing for this year.
Hey, it's Libby DeLucian. If you're sick of business advice that sounds cute but doesn't actually move the needle forward, this one's for you. The Libby DeLucian podcast is where we go one layer deep. No gurus, no glitter, just straight up unfiltered talk about scaling a business, running a household, and holding on to your sanity in the middle of the chaos. If you're the bottleneck in your business or in your own life, I'll show you how to fix it. Simple, tactical, and one layer deep every time. Let's go visit libbyd.com and check out our podcast today.
So y'all, if you've now imposed tips, you still get your money. I don't think they should take it away. They're just gonna have to pay taxes on it.
Wow, man. So look, thank you for that, Brian. I have a
Yes,
couple
sir.
of things here. Just going to share some stats. The first one, I think you already kind of went over about the 213 an hour in
Okay.
cash for
Yep.
the rate. The one thing I did want to mention is that the maximum allowable tip credit is 512.
Right. The
Right?
difference between the
Yes.
213 and the 725. Yep.
That's all for you. For those of you that may be listening, like in regards to the federal minimum wage, maximum tip credit is at $5.12.
Yep. And it I mean, for what it's worth, because we did mention that they're trying to eliminate tip credit. And what that means is some employees, even if their folks made their minimum wage via tips, companies are still allowed to use the tip credit.
Oh wow.
Employers. Right.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's what they're saying. They're like, you know what? We're not gonna do that, and you gotta pay a minimum wage.
Wow. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
So wage compensation and economic dependency. So in major U.S. cities, tip workers rely heavily on gratuities. So in
Yeah.
Washington, D.C.,
Yeah.
tips made up 81% total income.
Wow.
In Boston, it was 76%. In NYC, New York City, it was 67%
Wow.
of compensation that came from tips.
hmm
It makes sense because
The
those cities,
heavy hospitality. Yeah.
yeah. Nationwide, as of 2024, tips accounted for approximately 23% of restaurant workers total. By early 2025, base wages comprised of 43% of worker income, down from 65% in 2020,
Mhm.
highlighting the reduced tip dependency over evolving wage trends. And like you said, a bunch of people were ordering out during COVID,
Yep.
and a lot of restaurants are only doing like takeout,
Takeout only. Yeah.
you know what I'm
Delivery
saying?
only. Yep.
Yeah, so I think that's why. So number 3, consumer sentiment and tipping fatigue. Wallet
Oh yeah.
Hub, Wallet Hub's 2025 survey shows nearly 90% of Americans believe tipping culture has become excessive,
Yep.
a rise from 75% previous year. That means 15 more,
Mhm.
15 more percent of Americans are like, nah, like they're doing too much.
I think I went to the movie theater the other day, and the movie theater on top of
What?
the prices y'all are are you crazy?
That's that's
Hell yes. Well, you get zero.
I've never
You
like
overpriced everything here. There's no way I'm giving you a tip.
Bankrate found that 63 to 64% of Americans hold negative views of towards tipping, with
Mhm.
41% saying that tipping has gotten out of control, and 38% saying they're annoyed by those preset tips being the
That's right.
about
Tipulation.
about 27% tip less when presented with default amounts.
That's
You know
right.
what? Custom.
Custom. You ain't got custom. You asked out.
Yeah. Morning Consult data indicates 33% feel tipping expectations have risen over the last 5 years. More than 20% that we said before, appointed
Mm-hmm.
businesses for tips, and
Mm-hmm.
16 report reducing tip
Yep.
amounts. So behavioral and generational trends. The average tip
Interesting.
in early 2025 was 18.8%,
Yeah.
with millennials tipping around 19.5%.
Mm.
Gen X, the boomers tipping around 16%, and
Mm-hmm.
Gen Z tipping less frequently overall.
Damn.
Yeah, Gen Z.
Well, they ain't got no money. That's the problem.
Yeah,
They're the youngest generation. They ain't got no money.
nearly 72% of Americans say tipping is expected in more places today than 5 years ago, and reflecting the rise of tipflation.
Yeah.
Inflation.
Hell yeah.
Legislative changes and policy shifts. So, the No Tax on Tips Act became federal law as of July 4th, 2025, aiming to exempt tip income from taxation. A move critics say may benefit businesses more than bottom tier workers.
Just to clarify, it came out July 4th, but it's backdated to January 1 or December
Yes,
31st,
thank
24
you
to
for that, sir.
be exact. Yeah.
Yes. In Washington, D.C., voter backed Initiative 82 intended to phase out the sub minimum wage by 2027, but the D.C. Council amended it. The tip based wage is fixed at $10 an hour through 2026, rising to 75% of the full minimum wage by 2034, short of full parity.
Just to throw in there also, because it's saying that a move that critics say may benefit businesses more than the workers.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that is right, because think about it. One worker may get some tax free on some of their money, because remember, it caps out at, I don't know, is it 12.5 or 22, depending on which one, because I'm getting OT and tips confused. And then it also phases out if you make 150 or better. But the company gets to enjoy less taxes on all of their employees' tip tax free deal, right? Because remember, the company has to match. Oh, wait. I think it actually may be only on federal, because that's another call out. It may be just federal, not Social Security, Medicare.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So who knows? Now, so then I don't even know why benefits are going to benefit more than. Anywho, I'm sorry. Go ahead and next one.
No, you're good. You're good. But thank you for sharing that.
Yep.
Several states like California, Washington, and Minnesota now require tip workers to be paid the same minimum wage as non-tip workers,
Yep.
eliminating tip credits altogether.
That's right. That's right. And that's what I'm saying, that tip credit thing, because
Yep.
they got to pay a minimum wage minus the tip credit. You can't get the tip credit for the company. So that's what it is.
Yep.
All right.
Number 6, economists warn that sudden wage increases for tip positions can drive up labor costs and pressure small businesses. DC saw an uptick in restaurant closures post initiative, triggering a partial rollback we said before. Wage theft remains a concern. Low wage tipped employees often face compliance gaps, and whistleblowers report employers sometimes wrongfully retaining or misallocating tips.
It's eye opening for real. I didn't think it was this bad.
Yeah.
And there's some summary insights here, right? Tip jobs remain highly dependent on customer generosity. Yep. Representing more than 2/3 of their income in cities like DC and Boston. Public frustration is rising sharply. Nearly 9 to 10% of Americans say tipping is excessive. It is. Policy shifts are underway, but reform varies widely, from full parity in some states to contested hybrid models in places like DC. The parity means like no more tip credit. You got to pay your minimum wage. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Parity, like pairing it to the other jobs. These changes highlight broader questions. Should customers subsidize wages, and is tipping sustainable in its current form? Those are good questions, and it's arguable, and folks should be able to make a living, man. Like,
Yeah. No matter what
and
job they do.
tips should be based on you gave amazing service.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's what it should be based on.
You shouldn't expect a good tip if you weren't
Mediocre
attentive or
or right.
mediocre. Like, because I'm like, people are like, oh, like sometimes I used to be the one like tip snob, I guess, or whatever. Like, oh,
Mhm.
you need to at least 20% for people. And then like most people were like, no, they get $5. Yeah, they came and refilled my drink like once. But other than that, they didn't come like asking if we wanted anything else, and they didn't do this. Like, I like somebody like that. Even if
Attentive.
they're busy.
You don't forget about me. You can't wait
Yeah.
to keep me hanging too long.
Yep.
Yeah, look, yep.
Yep.
So yeah, it's good. It's good questions, man. Should customers subsidize wages, and is tipping sustainable in its current form? And I think as robotics and things like, look, I go to restaurants now,
Yes.
and there's a machine that brings the food out to me. So now, do you think you're getting a real big tip because a robot brought me the food? Nope, you're not. That eats away at your tips. You know what I mean? So I hope that you get minimum wage because you have now. And but again, so then the offset is like, are they after that robot? That's the only time you see it is they bring the food. So now after that, are you coming over? Are you attentive? Are you so it's gonna the lines are gonna continue to blur. What about that burger place in Cali that we saw now that the robots are flipping the
Yeah,
burgers?
bro. Yep.
You know,
And
it
just passing you the
and
bag.
just passing it is just they're just kind of doing the last step and passing it to you. Everything is getting blurred, and that's why it makes sense to just pay folks minimum wage. Raise minimum wage, first of all. Federal at 7.25 is ridiculous.
Yes.
Oh, I did learn, by the way, sidebar minimum wage. I did learn why Georgia's minimum wage is less than federal.
Uh-huh.
Because it's only applicable to companies who have a certain amount of employees, like a few, and they cannot do interstate commerce.
Oh,
So,
okay.
right. So if it's like a small town restaurant and it's only a few employees and they don't sell or send anything out of state or like,
Yeah.
then they can do less than the federal because it's a very specific eligibility. Yeah. So anywho, it's good stuff, man.
Great stuff, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, folks.
And then
Please
with a
go
quote,
on. Yeah. Oh, what is that?
you want to say it?
Oh, sure. No, you can not. You can.
Hey, get tired, learn to rest, not to quit.
Word up. Who said that?
I don't know. It
Unknown.
said it was attributed to Banksy. I guess that artist.
Oh, saying it wrong, I think. Banksy. Is it Banksy? Banksy.
Banks what? Banks.
Banksy.
Banks what?
Basquiat? No, not the one that Jay-Z loves.
No.
Banksy. All right, no doubt. Well, until the next time, folks, we love you. Please go and like and share and subscribe and comment and tell us what you want, what you don't want, as we continue to build this show.
Stay tuned for Unk's advice.
Unk's Corner. Unk says, Unk.
Why?
Word. Hey, bro. We love you, folks. Peace.